Alright, hello. Today is an unusual Sunday stream, and it's also the Lunar New Year, so Happy New Year if you celebrate that. So, last time we left off with Shoma heading over to Makoto's house to do some prep for her anniversary stream. Since I'll be finishing off the game here, we should definitely hit that anniversary stream. I was looking at the completion times for this game, and apparently, I mean, I did look it up beforehand as well, but 5 hours or something? We're definitely past that, but because of that, we should be able to finish it today. Hey, Bucky. So yeah, let's just get into it. So, once again, I find myself in front of Makoto's place, but this time with newly found resolve and laptop in hand. But also with the worry that we won't be able to finish everything in time. I ring the doorbell to Makoto's house and look around the neighborhood. Don't expect me to be that terribly active in chat? Alright, don't worry about it. It's a cool, quiet morning. A neighbor can be seen walking their dog. It's such a nice morning. It probably helps that last night was the first night that I didn't sleep way past midnight. My thoughts are interrupted as Makoto opens the door and comes out to open the gate. Good morning. Good morning. It feels a bit weird to say that. I haven't gotten out of bed this early in a while. It's kind of nice. Makoto gestures to me to follow her, and we make our way to her room. I take a seat on the floor of Makoto's room and sign into my laptop. Makoto takes a seat at her desk. So, what grunt work do you have for me? Well, you could start by massaging my shoulders. I sure can see how that directly helps with your anniversary stream. But actually, could you find some clips I could use as highlight moments to show for this year? Oh hey, that's one of the things that I recommended as something that he's able to do. Just find some of my most popular moments and find which VOD they're from and let me know when it happened. Okay, I'll make sure to pick out the most embarrassing moments for this year. Shoma's probably well positioned to pick out some moments because he's such a huge Mana fan, so he could probably remember his favorite moments. What was that? Can you repeat that? I said, I'll pick out your cutest and coolest moments for this year. Ah, okay. I thought I misheard you for a second there. Makoto turns her chair and gets to work on her computer. I open the lid of my laptop and start researching what clips I could give to her. After some time, I found a good amount of clips that I could give to Makoto. There's a few clips of her most intense boss fights. There are some funny moments, some clumsy and cute moments. Going back and seeing these moments made me a bit nostalgic, even though it hasn't been that long. These types of moments are what got me through some dark times. Hey, Makoto, I'm going to send you the list of clips. Makoto turns to me and stretches her arms. It seems like she was working out of some image editor. Thanks. There's something that came to mind when I was looking at these clips. I think you can already piece it together from what I've told you, but about half a year ago, I was in a pretty bad headspace. I wasn't able to find the kind of relationship I was looking for after entering university, so I was pretty depressed and lonely for a bit. But looking at some of your best moments, they reminded me of how I was able to get through those tough times. I turned to your content a lot, and it was my light for a while. I don't think I went about it in the most healthy way afterward, using it as a replacement for what I was looking for. But I still value the experiences I've had. So, if anything, I'm at least one person whose life you were able to make brighter through VTubing. I'm really glad to hear that. I hope I can continue making your life a bit brighter, both as Mana and as Makoto. And I do hope you find what you're looking for. I think I have. Eh? I immediately get embarrassed and looked away from Makoto. Shoma is constantly saying embarrassing lines. I clear my throat to clear out the awkwardness. By the way, you haven't eaten yet, have you? Let me stop by the store to grab some food for us so you can continue working. That's definitely some good grunt work. Yeah, thanks. Here, use this key to lock the door behind you and let yourself in. Thanks. See you soon. I arrive at the store where Makoto and I had first met. I let out a deep sigh. I'm still kind of crazy about Makoto, aren't I? I still don't know where our relationship is at. Well, at the very least, we're friends, I guess. But I think we've shared some really personal experiences that just saying we're friends might be reductive. Or maybe I'm reading too deep into this. I haven't really explicitly asked her what she thinks, but maybe right now isn't the best time with the work we have to get done. I also don't really understand my own feelings all that well. I might be misinterpreting as well. This is probably something that should wait until after the anniversary stream. We're busy enough as it is. I should be thinking about not making things uncomfortable for her, instead of trying to rush things. Who would have known that, not too long ago, my life would change so much from meeting someone here? Life sure works in mysterious ways. Is it weird to feel nostalgic like this when it's only been about a week? I wonder where we're going to go from here on out. I let out a deep sigh. Even though I assured Makoto on so many things, I'm not confident at all in myself. I don't have very many answers to the problems laid out in front of us, and I can't help but feel like just being there for her isn't enough. No, I shouldn't think like this. I need to do what I can. And right now that's getting food, which I think is actually quite helpful. I bring my hands up to my face and quickly slap my cheeks, trying to dispel my anxiety. Let's get the food and go back. I open the door to Makoto's room to see her continue to be hard at work. Once she notices that I came inside, she turns her chair to me and leans back. I hand her the key as well as the bento box. Thanks. No problem. Are you making good progress? Yes, actually. I should be ready for the stream going at this pace. That's good. We both open our convenience store bentos and start eating. I guess now would be a good time to ask her about various things I've been wondering about. So, if you don't mind me asking questions about what it's like being Mana. Go ahead, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you're wondering about. What's it like being famous? Well, it's cool, I guess. It's nice that I can keep my private life a secret. It's like I'm a superhero or a magical girl. The magical girl comparison comes back from the very first time that they met. There are the obvious downsides that it has, like how negativity will inevitably come when I bring so much attention to myself. I think the biggest thing is the validation I can get from all the people that support me. It's a double-edged sword. It's easy to fall into the trap of using your audience for self-validation. But at the same time, it's not like people's impressions are not worth anything. My fans are naturally going to be supportive of what I do, but I try to be realistic about myself. Yeah, you seem to be pretty harsh on yourself despite all the praise you get. I think you could definitely be more proud of yourself. That's a tall order. I guess it might be. This is a bit of a vague question, but what do you think about the relationship between you and the Mana fans? From a fan perspective, it's a bit hard to get noticed as an individual. We can see how you present yourself on stream and see how you interact with chat, but we kind of have to accept the fact that you'll never get to know us as individuals. I've actually thought about this a lot. It's kind of weird to think about, isn't it? You have one person able to have the majority of the agency in communication, and the only way for the other side to make themselves known is through chat, which can be impersonal. I can even choose to not read chat. I can make it completely one way, almost. Even if I try my best to interact with chat, I don't know them as people, and they don't know me fully as a person either. But even so, I love the Mana fans. They've given me more than I can ever hope to return. I don't believe that the relationship we hold is something as shallow as a way for me to make money or a way for Mana fans to get entertainment. There definitely is something special there, but it's different from other types of relationships. And I think it's easy for it to turn into an unhealthy relationship, both for the VTuber and the fan. Yeah, I understand from experience. So I'll pause to talk a bit about this because it brought to mind, I don't know, the idea of one-way communication, or like two-way communication, I guess. For me, what's it? It's easy for me to read my chat. Super duper easy. But the part about how you can choose not to read chat is kind of like just normal video creation, right? If you do non-live stream content and you're just doing video recordings, it's just the creator that's talking to the camera with no other input, and the only input that they get from their audience is from the comments later on. So there's no live interaction with the chat. But like video creators still have like a relationship with their audience through the comments in that case. So in a way, the way that the viewers kind of interact with it after the fact, that it's like after it's been recorded, is also a way to create a relationship. It doesn't have to be the chat. Although I guess for live streaming, the chat will give a more live experience. I used the streamer-viewer relationship as a way to substitute for what I wanted from a more intimate, mutual relationship. Maybe they can give a similar feeling in some ways, but ultimately they're two different things. It's almost impossible to know if a normal YouTuber reads comments. Streamers, you can tell. Yeah, I mean, a normal YouTuber can reply to comments, and then that way you know that they've read the comment. And that way there's also like, I guess that's also a direct reply to a direct person. When a streamer reads a comment, I'm like going at this from Mana's point of view. I think a lot of times, wouldn't there be similar comments in the chat, like a lot of people saying the same thing, and then when the streamer responds, it's kind of a general, hey chat, you know? Not, hey, specific person who said this very specific thing. So it makes the chat kind of a bit more of a amorphous blob, I guess. Though there's definitely times when streamers call out like individuals. And I've experienced how easy it can be to fall into an obsession as well. That can happen to the VTuber as well, developing an over-reliance on interactions with chat as a substitute for what they might really want. That makes sense? Yeah. Or getting obsessed with someone because they ended up making things too personal. Has that ever happened to you? Obsession with someone? No, I try to keep a reasonable distance from my viewers. I think I might give them the wrong idea if I tried to get closer to them. I think it can work depending on the streamer. There's nothing wrong with getting to know someone who watches your stream. But you have to establish that interpersonal, one-on-one connection first. And I don't think that's possible for me to do that with every viewer that wants to do that. I'm sure there are people out there that are nice, and I would want to be friends with. I can't be expected to try and get to know every single person that wants to get friendly. Yeah, that makes sense. It's hard to find the correct way to interact with my fans. On one hand, I want to get to know my community, and I want to be able to acknowledge people. But at the same time, I don't want to create any expectations that our interactions will turn into anything more than a streamer-viewer dynamic. I would feel partially at fault if, because of my actions, a viewer ended up developing an over-reliance with me despite the fact that I can't return the same attention. Even if it could be because the viewer misinterpreted you, I don't think you're at fault at all. I think there'll be people that develop that parasocial reliance regardless of what I do. But I want to think about the things that are in my control. It's impossible for me to invest the time and energy into acknowledging every one of my fans. But I don't want to just ignore them. I'm still trying to find that balance between being engaged with my fans, while maintaining enough distance to not create any expectations. I can see how that would be difficult for streamers to deal with. There really doesn't seem to be an easy solution. The way people interact with any entertainment medium is complex, and it doesn't help that streaming as a medium is fairly new. Add VTubing as another, even newer layer on top of that, and it becomes even more complicated. I'm still trying to understand my own experiences. So as far as how do I establish distance or whatever relationship with my chat, which is not very much. I mean, for me, since not many people interact, right? I feel like if you make the effort to watch my stream and chat, then for me that's like something that I can respond to by at least reading the chat and reacting to that. I don't know anything about this going beyond that. Same here. This is all still new to me, so I'm constantly finding myself thinking and doing things that aren't healthy. I'm like developing an over-reliance on streaming at times. I was aware of what I should be looking for in my relationship with my viewers in terms of it being healthy and positive for me. But it's hard not to just turn to streaming when I'm feeling lonely, or if I just want to escape from everything. Is there anything wrong with feeling like that, though? I'm sure I would do the same thing. I think the problem arises when you're just using it as a way to avoid your issues. In that case, I guess the problem isn't with VTubing itself, but with the mindset to try and escape from everything. But I guess there are times where the best thing to do is to try and take a break from everything. And VTubing is just a way to be able to do that, both from the streamer and the viewer's side. There is, of course, when VTubing itself becomes a problem, like how we mentioned before about developing an unhealthy relationship. Yeah. I don't think there's a correct way to watch VTubers, similar to how there aren't correct ways to consume other forms of media. I agree. I feel like watching VTubers is just another form of entertainment, and you can apply all of the ideas of over-reliance and like running away from responsibilities and such to the same idea, like if you rely on watching TV to like escape reality. It's the same thing as watching VTubers to escape reality. Everything in moderation, I guess. But at the same time, there are ways you can go about that will be unhealthy for you. And a lot of times it can happen without you knowing, or without you wanting it. I guess the best thing to do is to just try and be aware of our experience with VTubing as much as possible. I suppose that's true. Perhaps in VTuber culture, maybe there might be more of an emphasis on watching your Oshi's stream, like all of your Oshi's streams, or like always knowing what's going on. Something a bit more intense or more present in that VTuber culture than might be in like TV culture, where you would just like, I don't know, watch one series, binge watch a series, and then once you're done watching it, you're done watching it, and you don't need to keep watching it like every day, every week, every month. You might be right. Why is it so complicated? I guess that's part of what makes it fun and interesting, though. Here, I'll make it easy for you. The objective way to enjoy my stream is to forfeit all mortal possession to me. Hey, you've said before that you don't need my money. True. I don't. I'll be happy if you just continue supporting me in your own way. I could do that. Makoto smiles at me before finishing her food. After cleaning up, she showed me some things to review and give my opinion on as a viewer while she continued her own work. We would work silently, but occasionally make small talk as a break from work. This went on for a few hours. Makoto leans back in her chair and stretches her arms above her head. I think that's enough for today. Yeah, it is getting pretty late. What's your progress looking like? I should be able to get everything done by tomorrow night. That's good. I feel like I didn't do too much, though. It's not too late to massage my shoulders. You serious? I'll actually do it if you want. Oh? Sure. I won't turn down a free massage. After walking over to the back of Makoto's chair, I put my hands on Makoto's shoulders. She flinches when I make contact, but immediately calms her body. I start rhythmically exerting force on the tense muscles. From my perspective, I can really only see the top of Makoto's head. Her hair is a bit messy, but there's a certain charm to that. So, this kind of reminds me of when my sister used to make me massage her shoulders. I was just wondering if Shoma had any experience massaging anyone. He does. So I guess this massage might actually be worthwhile then. Oh? You were a good little brother, weren't you? If by good little brother you mean being made to do it against my will by my sister, then yes. I think that still makes you a kind brother. Wouldn't a kind brother have been willing to make that act of kindness in the first place? That kind of goes back to what we talked about yesterday. About a person's natural self versus who they wish to be. I've been thinking about that lately. Not specifically about being a good brother, but about kindness. Before, I thought that a truly, genuinely kind person would just naturally be that way, and not have mean or ugly thoughts come to mind. Does that kind of person even exist out there? When we observe people from the outside, then maybe. But unless we know exactly what they're thinking about, we'll never know. Honestly, it's probably impossible to always have nice thoughts. At least for me, it's definitely impossible. So, you're saying it also matters how people present themselves? But I think there are definitely people who are more naturally inclined to have spiteful thoughts than others. I think so too, but it's kind of hard to tell since what we see is a combination of that and how they're able to deal with their thoughts. I'm not sure one is more valuable than the other though. Say you had two people. One who naturally had a lot of awful thoughts, but was able to present themselves kindly because they know it's the right thing to do despite their natural tendencies. And one who just naturally always had really nice thoughts and also presented themselves kindly. Can you really say that one is kinder than the other? I think the knee-jerk answer many would give would be the latter. But it also shows a lot of mental fortitude to be able to act kind despite your natural tendency to be mean. Now that you ask that, maybe neither can be said to be more kind than the other. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, as long as what they show is kind and it stays that way, like, forever, like, till the moment that they die, they act kind outwardly to everyone that they know, but one of them has, like, mean thoughts, then from their actions, they're both equally kind. But if you're saying this from, like, two kids who are equally kind, but one of them has mean thoughts, and then when they become an adult, they might start acting on those mean thoughts, then, you know, maybe they were equally kind in childhood, but it doesn't hold true for the rest of their life. So I feel like it has to be like a looking into the past kind of thing, based on their actions. But you can't predict the future from it. It's something I've recently opened my eyes to, from my experiences with you. Eh? I don't think I really did anything. If anything, I think you're the one who's going by either definition. Nah, I think I have a lot further to go before I can call myself kind. I naturally have a lot of bad thoughts, and I have trouble expressing myself kindly. Maybe one day that kind self won't just be an aspiration. That makes two of us. Let's keep working at it together. Yeah. I started to notice the exhaustion in my hands after massaging Makoto for the entire conversation. I released Makoto's shoulder and started leaning on Makoto's chair as support. Thanks. I give that a passing grade. In response to that unsatisfactory response, I flick the back of her head. Hey! Makoto turns, not realizing that my face is resting on my arm on the top of her chair. Our faces are only inches apart. We both jump back slightly in embarrassment. So, are you hungry? Did you want to get dinner? Yeah, sure. Actually, there's something that I need to do first. Oh, the music stopped? The music stopped? What's happening? Makoto's expression suddenly shifts from embarrassed to serious. Yeah? What is it? I can see that Makoto is struggling to get her words out. I can only assume that this is something serious. Do you remember that friend I mentioned yesterday? The Vtuber friend I made while I was starting out? Yeah. I'm going to call her. Can I ask you to be here with me? I can see that Makoto is visibly shaking. Knowing her and what she told me yesterday, this must not have been easy to decide to do. I want to ask her if it's too soon, but I can already see that she's found the resolve. Of course. Thanks. Makoto slowly reaches for her phone and unlocks it. Her hands are shaking as she navigates through her phone to find the right contact. Makoto takes deep breaths, though they're unsteady. Her finger stops moving, and her eyes fill with what I can only describe as fear. I haven't even pressed the button to call yet, and I already feel like I'm about to throw up. Makoto's breathing gets louder as she looks to be overwhelmed by fear and anxiety. I walk to Makoto and take her free hand and put it between mine. Her fingers feel cold against my palms, but I can see that her shaking is abating slowly. Thanks. It's okay. Take your time. No, I need to do this now. She just finished her stream, so she'd still be around. Makoto takes a deep breath and firmly grasps my hand with hers. She pushes the button to call with the thumb of her other hand. Makoto's grasp gets tighter as the phone starts ringing. Her hand is shaking more than before. I hold my breath as I listen for the call to get picked up. Every individual ring is the only thing that both of us can focus on. Just when I think I would hear a voicemail, the ringing stops. The call was picked up. Makoto? Makoto flinches at the voice, her eyes filled with genuine fear. Makoto swallows and gathers her courage. Aika? They know each other's real names. I guess they were pretty close. Yeah. What's wrong? It's been a while since we've talked, hasn't it? Aika, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Makoto, what are you apologizing for? It shouldn't have been me. It should have been you. I didn't deserve any of the attention I got as a VTuber. I know how much you wanted it. You were always there for me, but I couldn't do anything for you. I only ended up hurting you. I'm so sorry. No, Makoto, no. What are you saying? It's my fault for getting you involved with someone like me. All I ever did was rely on you, and I couldn't do anything for you in return. You have every right to hate me. Makoto! How could I ever hate you? In the back of my mind, I did feel jealous, and I hated that I did. But above that, I felt so happy for you as a friend that you were succeeding. I valued our friendship more than any amount of pain that those ugly feelings of jealousy would bring. You were way more important to me than all that, Makoto. So please, don't blame yourself. I can never ever hate you. Why? I deserve to be hated. Why does everyone keep showing me such kindness? Why don't you get angry at me? Why don't you resent me? It would be so much easier that way. Makoto, you've never done anything deserving of my hate. Please don't say that. You're my precious friend. How could I hate you? Aika! I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Tears started flooding down Makoto's face. Unable to hold it in anymore, Makoto starts sobbing uncontrollably. I continue to hold Makoto's hand, unable to hold back my own tears. Makoto, you're such a dummy. Such a big dumb. The sounds of Aika's own crying start emanating from Makoto's phone. I'm so happy for you, Makoto. She didn't hate you after all. You were loved all along. I'm so glad. I put my arm around Makoto and hold her close as she continues to sob. I don't try to stop my own tears of happiness from being shed. See, Makoto, you deserve to be loved. What a nice feel-good scene. They're friends. They're still friends. After some time, Makoto and Aika calm down. Makoto's eyes are still red and she's sniffling, but she's able to speak now. Sorry, Makoto. I never knew what you were going through. I actually thought the same as you, that maybe you hated me because I was in the wrong. I don't think I could hate you no matter how hard I try. You're such an amazing person who was always there for me. No, I wasn't there when you needed it most. I can't imagine what you've been going through. That's it. I've decided. I wonder if this started life as Verum's fanfic? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely inspired off of, like, VTubers. Doesn't fanfic require it to be based on a specific VTuber? Like, it needs characters that already exist, right? You and me, we're going to catch up on everything we've missed out on by not talking to each other for the past few months. But after all I've done, I don't deserve— No buts! I'm not taking no for an answer. I've decided I don't want us to be separated like before again. I want us to be there for each other. I know that there will inevitably be things that we don't like to think about,
that will create distance between us. But let's be able to talk it out and share our feelings, okay?
Makoto is being overpowered by some radiant energy. I couldn't really tell before, but Aika does seem like a bright person. I squeeze Makoto's hand, and she turns to me. I know she's likely thinking if it's okay to accept Aika's kindness despite her own perceived undeservedness. I give her a smile and nod to tell her that the answer she's already come to is okay to accept. Okay. Thank you, Makoto. I'm so happy. Aika's voice trails off as she starts to choke up again. Yeah, but I feel like names could have been changed. I mean... I don't know. It feels a bit too general to be a specific fanfiction, maybe, maybe not. Because that would mean that mana is based off of someone specific, or yeah, that would be the only way that makes sense. And Mana's achievements are, I don't know, they're pretty general. Though I guess that means it could be applied to like a bunch of people maybe, or maybe not. I don't know how many indie VTubers get super popular in their first year to the point that they have like that they're making merch and like all that stuff. I confess to not being too familiar with like the whole process. Let's have a sleepover sometime where we'll talk our hearts out. We'll eat lots of good food together and laugh together. We'll also struggle and hurt each other, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to hearing about everything that's happened. Have you learned how to not make your eggs explode yet? Hey, that was one time! Makoto lets out an unconstrained laugh, as if to try to make up for the laughs that she has missed out on. I hear a faint voice coming from Makoto's phone. Oh, my little brother's calling me. Makoto, let's catch up later tonight, okay? Yeah, I'll call you later tonight. Thanks for everything. I should be the one thanking you. Bye-bye. See you later. Makoto hangs up the call and immediately collapses onto me in exhaustion. She leans her head against my chest while I support the rest of her body. I'm happy for you. She didn't hate you after all. Yeah, I'm so glad. Sorry, let me stay like this for a bit. Of course. Take your time. My heart is beating uncontrollably in response to Makoto's body leaning against me. I'm sure she's able to feel how fast my heart is beating, but I don't care at this point. I just want to stay here like this, able to support her. And we're getting food. Makoto sits across from me, filling her mouth with a hamburger steak. Makoto and Aika have some catching up to do tonight. I probably shouldn't hold Makoto here too long. Does Makoto have time to be doing some catching up when she's got her first anniversary stream? She's still not done her preparations. And it's not good to rush preparations the day before it happens. But, you know, it's important friendship. I guess I have kind of had her to myself for the past few days after all. Why are you staring at me again? You seem to like looking at me eat a lot. Sorry, does that make you self-conscious? A little. Sorry, I was just thinking to myself. Do you have anything that you're wondering about? Well, I guess I do about some other unrelated stuff. But I was just thinking that I shouldn't keep you here too long to myself. You should take time tonight to talk to Aika. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. We have plenty of time now on to catch up. You have me all to yourself right now. Wow, I feel so honored. You should. Now, what other unrelated stuff were you wondering about? They're weird questions I was just thinking about in my own time. Probably better not to ask. Well, now you're making me curious. I'm going to keep poking at you until you ask. Okay, fine. How do you feel about people drawing explicit material of you? As, you know. Makoto stares at me for a few seconds before breaking into laughter. That's what you were wondering? Well, it's fine, isn't it? My design is hella cute after all. You don't feel ashamed in any way? I mean, maybe there's a hint of that. But I've long since accepted that people would draw their own fan content of me like that. It's definitely not the same as if it happened with me as Makoto. Begone, impure thoughts. Oh, were you thinking dirty thoughts? No, stop it. Makoto breaks out into laughter again. I'm surprised she's able to continue eating like that. What's your reason for asking about Mana's explicit content? Have you masturbated to it before? I started choking on the water I was drinking. Makoto doesn't hold back this time. She starts clutching at her stomach because she's laughing so hard. I look around our table to see if anybody's giving us any funny looks. Thankfully, the restaurant is fairly empty. But the waitress is giving a look of concern at Makoto. Yeah, I feel like an empty restaurant makes it even more noticeable if someone's laughing that hard. If the restaurant is full, then maybe there's a bunch of other people laughing, but now all the attention is drawn to them. Alright. Calm yourself before they come over to our table. Makoto is still catching her breath. Okay, I think I'm good. I kind of want to know the answer to the question, though. No, I'm not telling you. I'll take this knowledge to my grave. Isn't that basically a yes, then? Interpret it as you will. It's okay. You're a healthy young boy, and I know that my model is quite cute. Nothing wrong with indulging in that. I'm not offended or creeped out. Makoto starts laughing to herself again, barely able to muster the breath from before. I knew I shouldn't have asked. I guess I'm glad, at least, that she's showing so much more life than I think I've ever seen from her. Breathe, Makoto. Breathe. Okay. Can I ask a question myself? Will your question involve my masturbation habits again? No. If it's okay, it's actually kind of an unpleasant question to ask, and not in a joking way. Oh. Sure. Fire away. Does it bother you if the female VTubers you watch interact with guys? Like, if Mana were to theoretically collab with another male VTuber. Oh. Sorry if that makes you uncomfortable, but I want to know. This isn't specifically about male viewers with female streamers. It'll depend on the person and the situation. I'm curious about how people feel about streamers they might be attracted to. I've been thinking about what I want for myself in the future, and about our conversation yesterday about the relationship between streamer and viewer. Even if I take all the precautions to prevent people from developing an unhealthy relationship with me, I still feel like there might be problems. Particularly with how people might naturally feel towards streamers, despite their own mindset to maintain a healthy relationship. I see. For me, it depends. Some VTubers, I don't have any problems with them doing that. I think for most VTubers, I have a healthy mindset of support for... I just want to be able to support them, and I don't mind if I don't get their attention. And I definitely do not have any ounce of romantic interest for them. But For some others, I think I naturally try to frame it in the context of being a romantic partner. Even if I don't want to think of them like that. It's a lingering feeling in the back of my mind when I watch them. It's kind of disgusting, isn't it? Fans should just be supporting the VTuber the best they can, but I just instinctively try to reduce them to someone that should be reliant on my own affection. Alright, Shoma, I can't understand you. Shoma's deeper than I am.
I don't know, can you really blame people if they can't help it?
I'm sure I could help it somewhat, but maybe there's just something wrong with me.
Don't say that. I can see what you mean. There's that twinge of discomfort when you see it happen. I don't know if I can bring myself to condemn people just for feeling that way. But to act on it and express negativity towards a streamer because you feel that way? That's just selfish, heartless. Yeah. It's such a common occurrence as well. You see VTubers get hit with negativity all the time for collabing with people of the opposite gender.
Yeah, and I still don't understand that. Like, if you like put the reasons out to me, the whole they feel romantic affection or whatever to a VTuber, I totally can't understand it myself.
It really is selfish to act on one's own discomfort and lash out at someone when they aren't even doing anything wrong.
For what? Just to make themselves feel a bit better? To ensure that they don't feel uncomfortable again, even if it's at the expense of another person's freedom and feelings? It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's the ones that are obviously malicious, the ones that like actually insult and like hate on VTubers for doing whatever thing. But then there's also kind of those comments or chats that are kind of just plain, they're just rude, I guess. And, I don't know, lacking in etiquette. Those ones I think, like, those ones I can understand. Like, someone who's new to watching VTubers, someone who's younger, doesn't quite understand what you should say and what you shouldn't say. And they just need to, like, learn that maybe it's not a good thing to say that, you know, this stream is boring in the chat. Like, I'm not interested in watching this, or do this or do that. That sort of comment kind of makes me think, I'm not a fan of that kind of comment as a viewer watching it in someone's stream when I see that kind of chat. But yeah, for people who don't know rules or who's young and doesn't quite understand stuff, they'll eventually learn, I think. But for people who actively brigade or do hate comments, those are just mean. I want with all my heart for people to have the freedom to express themselves the way they want and be accepted. Why does it have to be inevitable that some people are going to be upset if someone wants to do that? I know that nobody can appease everyone, but I hate the thought of having to alienate people if I continue to pursue something I wanted. In a way, you could see it as alienating people you wouldn't want as part of your community. Those people who are willing to spread negativity for such a selfish reason might not be the type of people you want to surround yourself with. But it's not just that. What if I were to suddenly start collabing with a bunch of male VTubers? Even if I don't consider the people that would suddenly start spreading negativity, wouldn't there be people who don't express anything but still feel discomfort? Is the answer to just ignore all of that and just do whatever I want? My opinion, I say yes. I think so. Those feelings are inherently selfish and creepy. I don't think you should hold yourself back just because a minority feels that way. What about your own feelings? I just can't ignore the fact that I might be upsetting people or causing discomfort. Like I said, those feelings are for selfish reasons. There's no reason why you should prevent yourself from doing something you want to do because of it. You should think about yourself more. That's what I should be saying. You're not thinking enough about yourself.
No, I've thought about myself enough.
Makoto notices the pained look on my face and immediately calms herself down. Sorry, this probably isn't the most pleasant conversation for you. No, don't apologize. I think it's better to have this conversation. I've just been thinking about these things lately. I want to meet new people and seek new opportunities in the future. But that might mean I put myself in a situation that would upset some people. I totally get that and support that. Sorry, I don't know if I have a clear answer for you. My thought is, if her collabing with male VTubers causes discomfort to some viewers, then, you know, they should either get used to it or find someone else to watch. Right? I think the VTuber themselves should have the most control over their own content. And not really to say like chasing views or anything, but if collabing with male VTubers causes her viewership to drop dramatically, then that's kind of like a decision to make, I guess. I just think, as a viewer, the VTuber should be able to express themselves the way they want, and their fans will match and support that. Exactly, Shoma! The fans will match and support that. So, if the VTuber decides to have different content, then the viewers who want to stay will stay, the viewers who don't want to stay will leave. And then, like, you know, for the VTubers that do like a variety of content, their fans who like one type of content will just be there for that one type of content and then not watch the content that they aren't interested in. That's kind of how I watch VTubers myself, I guess. Like, some I want to watch when they play this sort of game. Others I want to watch for their singing. Others I want to watch for their collabs. So it's kind of what aspect about them do you like the most, and so you'll watch that kind of content as a viewer. Like you said, it's impossible to appease everybody. It would be ideal if people could be more empathetic and not lash out at VTubers because they don't like what they see. And also, if people didn't feel discomfort in the first place at something that's so normal as interacting with someone of the opposite gender. That one really doesn't make sense. But I don't think those are worth restricting yourself for. Makoto lets out a long sigh, and she sinks into the back of her seat. Why can't things be simple? Maybe we're just making it more complicated than it is. Maybe. I think it's great that you're opening up to those opportunities, though. Not just with VTubers of the opposite gender, but collabing in general. I'm excited to see how fun those streams will be. Thanks. So, would it bother you if I collabed with a male VTuber? I mean, no matter how I feel, I don't want to restrict any of the activities you do. Honestly, I'll probably feel a twinge of jealousy, but I wish I could watch it without those feelings. Don't change your mind just because I said that. And they haven't streamed in 5 months? Who hasn't streamed in 5 months? Don't worry, I still have a solid grasp of what I want to do. But you know, I would probably feel a bit jealous as well if you watched other female VTubers. I'm pretty sure he watches other female VTubers. He just said that he watches a whole bunch of VTubers. Eh? Makoto quickly clears her throat. Someone named Shizlin. I mean, 5 months is kind of like... If it's a planned break, that can be normal enough. Some people take breaks for like a year. Like take a year off and then come back. Although after a while, you just get used to their absence, and then if they come back, it's just like, oh yay. I know it's a bit selfish to feel that way, but that's just how I naturally feel. Likewise, don't change your viewing habits because I said that. Don't worry about that. I already watch all of your streams before everybody else's. Good, good. I grant you honorary status as a Mana fan. Wait, was I not a Mana fan before? Anyway, she's changing the subject. Thinking about it, I'm not really looking forward to all the tiresome aspects of collabing. Having to put myself out there and getting to know people or asking to collab. I don't know, I don't really want to bother others. I think it's fine to stay to myself, but there are so many awesome people out there. I want to get to know them. But there are so many problems that come with it, like worrying or taking into consideration comparative fame. Not that smaller VTubers are inferior, but if I were to collab with a relatively lesser known one, it can bring unwanted hate towards them. Like people saying they're just trying to leech off another person. And I could also get people trying to ask me to collab because they're trying to get something out of me rather than wanting to get to know me. I'm sure there are a lot of worries from their perspectives as well. I wish I didn't have to worry about all that stuff. Yeah, that honestly sounds like a huge hassle. I find myself asking why things can't just be simple and straightforward pretty often nowadays. Hang in there. Don't worry, I'll find a balance between doing what I want and considering how my viewers feel. I just have to think about things some more and actually see how I like doing things in the future. I have absolute confidence that you'll be able to find that balance. Take your time. The Mana fans will always be there for you. Thanks! I'm happy that we had this conversation. I honestly don't know if it's the right thing to be transparent about these kinds of ugly feelings, but I think I'm glad that we're both aware. I think so too. Maybe it's better if these kinds of things are left in our minds, but I want to be as honest with myself as possible. I want both myself and Makoto to be able to accept all of me, all my ugliness, flaws, and mistakes. Do you want to get going now? Sure. Oh, it's Yoko. Yoko-ne. So that's how it went, eh? Yeah. I'm happy for both of you. I really am. It seems like she's on the path to realizing how much she actually means to the people around her. I hope you've realized that same lesson as well. I'll get there someday. To think that she went through all that by herself. She's a strong person, isn't she? For sure, and I think she just recently learned one of the greatest strengths of all. What's that? The strength to rely on others. It sounds a bit contradictory, doesn't it? You would think that a strong person wouldn't have to rely on others, right? But not being able to rely on others can actually be a sign of weakness, not strength. You remember that one anime we used to watch on television as kids? One of the lines was something along the lines of, "No person can stand alone." I'm surprised you remember that. Well, you could say it stuck with me. Despite personally growing out of anime, I don't think I've grown out of a lot of the messages that they've taught. But anyway, I think it's true. Forming bonds and leaning on each other are a part of what makes us human. Those bonds can be a part of our personal strength. Is that why the power of friendship always wins in anime? I guess so. Either that or the writers are lazy and don't know how to resolve it in any other way. I'd rather we find our strength through our own power and bonds, rather than some poorly written cop-out, so I'm going to hope that real life isn't some garbage anime. You know that anime they're quoting? I don't know which anime they're quoting. It sounds too generic. No person can stand alone? Or something like that? I know that there are a bunch of anime that talk about, you know, the character for person is one person leaning on another, because people can't, people exist by leaning on each other. That kind of quote I remember hearing a lot. I don't remember which exact anime that's from, though. I can hear Yokone's laughing through the phone. I think if this was you from before you met Makoto, you would have preferred cheap cop-out as an easy way out. I think so too. Can't say it still isn't tempting though. I'm sure the answers will come to you in time, and when they do, it'll be all the more rewarding that you took this path. I sure do hope so. Honestly, I'm already grateful I took this path. The experiences I've had, the things I've learned, the bond I've made with Makoto, I truly am grateful. Speaking of which, are you going to confess to Makoto? I mean, she probably already knows. I don't want to rush it either, especially with how I developed a lot of my feelings because of my unhealthy obsession. I can't say I fully understand your feelings, but I feel like you're really underselling the value of the experiences you've had with Makoto thus far. Can you really say that the feelings you have aren't largely because you actually do love her? To which I say to Yoko, these two, have only met for 1 week. I think it's fine if he doesn't confess right away. I don't know, can this even be considered love? A lot of it was from a one-sided obsession born out of admiration and insecurity. I don't think that's how meaningful relationships are supposed to be formed. What even is love, anyway? What is love? I barely know how I'm supposed to feel. I think we'll be up all night if we try to define that. I don't know if we can ever get to the point where we can fully understand our feelings. Even if we did, I'm not sure if we would be able to accurately put them into words. You'll just have to think really hard about what she means to you. What she means to me. At the very least, you aren't just thinking about being validated by being with her, right? Can't say I've completely overcome those feelings, but I think I can say I like her for reasons past that. Again, I reiterate, it's been 1 week. I like everything about her. She's an incredible person in so many ways. Maybe it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. I don't think there's a right way that relationships are supposed to be formed. Same with being deserving of someone's love. It's not like you do something specific and are suddenly deserving of someone's affection. I guess I'm making it sound really complicated. What I'm trying to say is that you trust her and want to be with her. Isn't it pretty clear that she wants to be with you as well? Isn't that in itself fine? I mean, she said she wants me to walk the same path as her, but I'm not sure if she likes me romantically. If she doesn't, then what would our relationship become if I were to just confess to her? I can hear Yokone let out a big sigh. I can't say your fears are completely unreasonable. I guess there isn't really a need to rush things. You two can afford to take the time to figure out your feelings. Yeah, that's right, Yokone, it's only been a week! But at the same time, make sure to use this time of your life well. For me, the time I spent at college was dazzling, but ephemeral. I spent a lot of time goofing off and chasing after things that I shouldn't have. So make sure you think about things, alright? Yeah, understood. I do remember when you were off to college. You were talking about how you were going to have the time of your life and meet a wonderful boyfriend. I did, didn't I? I don't think I ever found exactly what I was looking for, but I don't regret how things turned out. I think I'm a better person overall because of it. Sorry, I didn't notice. I was just a dumb kid back then. I wish I could have supported you in some way if you were going through your own struggles. Thanks, Shoma, but you already did a lot for me. Just continue being the great person that you are, okay? Just doing that gives me a whole lot of strength. So don't feel bad about it. And maybe I can tell you about it when the time is right. This whole, Yokone backstory is getting hinted at, it got hinted at earlier as well. Maybe one day I'll tell you. Yeah, sure. I would love that. Is there anything I can help with going forward? Though, if it's relationship advice, I'm not sure how much help I would be able to give. I'm sure you'd give some interesting advice. I really do appreciate that you're reaching out, but I think I know what I have to do moving forward. I don't think I'm ready for a relationship yet. Maybe it's bad to say that considering I'm pretty much in my mid-late 20s and a lot of my friends are already starting to get married. There are a lot of things I want to get sorted before I feel like I'm ready to actively pursue a relationship. I'm insecure about a lot of things. I don't feel like I'm where I need to be financially and career-wise. There are aspects of my appearance I want to improve. There are some mental and emotional struggles I want to overcome first. There are so many things I have to sort out. Life is just so busy and hectic right now. Honestly, listing it off like this makes it seem like I might never reach a point where I feel like I'm ready. You're already such an amazing person, though. Thanks. But don't worry. I'm working through the things that I can immediately grasp and address. If someone I end up really liking would come into my life and accept me for how I am now, then that would be ideal. But I'm not going to rely on that. I'm going to work through the hurdles in front of me right now and create that opportunity for myself when I'm ready. I'm sure you'll find a relationship with someone who will accept and love you. There's no way that you don't. I hope so. Otherwise, I'll never hear the end of it from our parents. Very true. Yokone and I chuckled to ourselves. By the way, did you want to get dinner with us? Maybe tomorrow? So that you can meet Makoto. Are you sure? I would be happy to, but I know you two are busy with the Vtuber stuff. And I kind of want you two to have some alone time together. It's fine. Makoto said she wants to meet you as well. Alright, just let me know tomorrow then. Sounds good. I'm going to head off for tonight then. Talk to you tomorrow. Yep, see you tomorrow. I hang up my phone and fall back onto my bed. I really am fortunate to have such great people around me. I know I shouldn't think like this, but it really makes me think that I'm not someone deserving of them. At the very least, I guess it makes me more motivated to become that kind of person who's deserving their love. Yokone is going through a lot of her own struggles. It really is amazing that she's been able to support me despite her own issues. Maybe once this is all over, I'll try to reach out to her more and give back to her. What Makoto means to me, eh? I mean, how can I even begin to describe that? I can't even begin to explain the feelings I have whenever I spend time with her. I can never say for certain, but I'm confident that I would have fallen in love with her, even if I hadn't known that she was Mana. Yeah, he was well on his way before he found out. Even if she doesn't think so, I think she's a beautiful, kind, and strong person. She inspires me to become a better version of myself and to confront my problems. Maybe I should just wait until after the anniversary. We're both kind of focused on that for now. Well, definitely it should be after the anniversary. The anniversary is in 2 days. I'll just get ready to sleep. If it's before the anniversary, that's literally tomorrow. And you definitely don't want to confess right before her anniversary stream because, you know, she needs to get into the mood of the anniversary stream. You don't want to throw that off. Anyways, I find myself once again ringing the doorbell to Makoto's place, almost as if it's become my daily routine. The familiar sight of Makoto coming out to open the gate plays out in front of me. I'd think I would have gotten used to the sight of Makoto without having my heart race, but that isn't the case. Morning. Hey. Makoto gives me a warm smile before leading me into her house. Makoto takes a seat at her chair and turns it towards me as I take my seat on the floor. So, did you get to talk with Aika last night? Yep, we talked for hours. We caught up on a lot of things. It was really nice. I was actually afraid I wouldn't be able to wake up in time this morning since we talked into the night. Well, you don't seem any more tired than usual. But I think your eyes have had a bit more life to them recently. You're probably imagining things. Maybe she's right, but she's definitely showing a lot more life in general compared to before. I can tell she's smiling a lot more. It really makes me happy to see. Maybe. Oh yeah, my sister said she's free to eat dinner with us tonight. Oh, awesome. I really want to meet her. I think she's going to love you.
We'll see, but we have a lot of work to do until then. I think we'll finish by dinner time since Aika offered to help with some of the work.
Oh snap! We got a new helper! That's great. I really am happy for you. Huh? What's all that about? It's nothing. So, what do you have for me today? Can you read through my submitted fan letters and pick out the ones I'll read on stream? Hold on, that sounds pretty important. Are you sure I should be the one to pick them out? Yeah, it makes it more interesting. When I read them on stream, I'll be able to show my live, natural reaction. And I trust that you'll pick out some good ones. You don't think I'll pick out some embarrassing ones for you to read? Do it and see what happens. I'm gonna do it. Yeah? You won't. You'll see. Don't say I didn't warn you. Makoto gives me a sly smile before turning her chair and navigating through some windows on her computer. Send me your email so I can give you access to the form and responses. Oh, sure. I pull out my phone to send Makoto my email address. After a few seconds, Makoto picks up her phone in response to the notification. She starts typing up on her keyboard. Wouldn't it have been easier to be like, give me your email, slide chair to the side, type email directly into the email field? Saves a bit of effort. There, I've given you access. By the way, Sho Hasei 35, that's the name you go by on the internet. Isn't that just taken from your real name? I recognize it from my streams. Huh? You're lying. But I don't type and chat that much. But you've sent some super chats before, right? Yeah, but I don't think I've sent too many. And it's not like I said anything notable. Oh yeah? Do you want me to recite some of the things you said? Ah, stop! I don't want to remember what I've said in the past. Sorry. I hope you'll continue to support me as you always have. But I feel like I haven't really done much. That's not true. And regardless of how much you did, I think it's enough for you to just be here with me. Asking for a lot there, aren't we? But I can do that. Gladly. Makoto returns one last smile before turning to her computer to get started on her work. I open my laptop and log on to my email. I see the email that informs me that I was given access to Mana's fawn letter form. Wow, there's a lot here. I guess I can see why the work needed to be split. This would have taken Makoto forever. I'm not sure if I have time to go through all of these. I guess I can quickly filter out the non-serious responses. Sometimes it's fun to see the non-serious responses, though. I spent the next few hours looking at various fan letters, covering just about every type of response I could think of. There were plenty of funny jokes, heartfelt words of support, and thankful comments. Fortunately, I didn't really see any unpleasant responses, but there were some that seemed uninspired that I could tell that the person was just trying to make a joke without really caring. Overall, the responses were overwhelmingly positive and supporting of Mana. I ended up picking about 10 messages that I really connected with, and I feel like Makoto would be happy to hear. Plus one extra. I look over to Makoto to see her busy at work within a video editing software I'm unfamiliar with. I don't really want to distract her. I guess I'll just sit back and watch her work. I lean back on the wall of the room and start to observe Makoto. She really is talented, isn't she? Even if she herself doesn't think so, it's hard for anyone to deny the work that she put in to get as good as she has at so many things. I could see that even before meeting Makoto. Just as Mana, she was someone who was amazing in so many ways. But even someone like that can be going through their own internal struggles that they never show on screen. It really makes me wonder, how many other VTubers that I watch could also be going through something similar? Some of them do share their struggles with their viewers, but many of them also might feel like they shouldn't be burdening their viewers with their problems. Some might feel like their stream is a place of positive vibes where people can escape from the burdens that may tie them down outside of the stream. I don't think there's an objectively right way to go about it. Like there's a right way to stream. I don't even know how I should be approaching it as a viewer.
It doesn't seem right to just assume they might be going through some tough times when they themselves wouldn't want me thinking about that. But at the same time, I don't think I should be insensitive to their potential experiences as a human being. Well, as just a normal person, I would say don't think about it. Don't expect it to be perfect, don't expect it to be terrible. Just take what's on the screen at face value. There's no need to think about anything beyond that. Maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. Is it as simple as just watch and enjoy? Nothing more to it? I think that's best. Watch and enjoy, and, you know, don't cause trouble. Don't add hate. Don't apply too much pressure either. Just support 100%. Well, not 100%, I guess. But, you know, if the VTuber you like is doing content that you like, then just support them to keep doing that. I feel like that's simple. No, I think that's disingenuous to the complexity of our experiences with media and people. There's nothing wrong with approaching streams like that, but there's definitely more to it than I can just immediately understand. The VTuber themselves, as well as everybody else in chat, are human beings like me. Like Yokone said, we could all be lost in life, figuring things out. Maybe the best thing to do is just be mindful of that, and try to treat everybody as people. It seems so obvious, but it's easy to forget that there are humans behind the screen. My train of thought is interrupted as Makoto starts yawning and stretches her arms. She turns to me, looking bereft of energy. This feels hypocritical, I think. Yeah, I think my stance is really just don't think about what's behind them. If they share, then you can take that as at face value, right? If they share it, then you can take that in. If they don't share it, then there's no need to assume anything. Like, you don't assume that everything is going super well for them, that you know, they have everything working out, or you don't assume that, like, they're working so hard, they're overworking, or like, you know, they need to do this or they need to do that. Yeah. It's perhaps overcomplicating things, but it might be targeting the people who are overcomplicating things. She turns to me, looking bereft of energy. Did you finish? Yep, I picked out some I thought would be good to read on stream. I sent them to you through email. Awesome, thanks. Say, can I make a selfish request? Sure, what is it? Makoto stands up from her chair and starts walking over to me. Once in front of me, she turns around to face her back to me and sits between my legs. She then leans back so my body is supporting hers. Is this a CG moment? The screen turned black, but is it going to turn into a CG? Eh? I start panicking at the abruptness of Makoto's actions, unsure of what to do. I have a selfish request. Can you hold me? I just want to be like this for now. I place one arm around her shoulders and place the other to rest on top of Makoto's head. There we go. How's that? That's perfect, thanks. Sorry about this. No, I like this as well. Makoto lets out a sigh so large I'm afraid her soul might leave her body. I've been so tired. We have been through a lot the last couple of days. I guess she's been trying to stay strong through everything. You've done an amazing job so far. It's not just the work I've done on the anniversary, it's everything that's happened in the past, as well as fear for the future. I'm afraid of the future as well. I don't know if things will get better, but all we can do is face it together, right? This is where you're supposed to tell me that everything will definitely get better. Would you believe me if I said that? Probably not, but I'd appreciate it anyway. Alright,
Things will definitely get better. Thanks. Sorry for being so weak and selfish. You're not. I am. Look at me right now. I should be able to take everything on, but here I am, having to ask you to comfort me. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to face everything alone, even if it's the only thing I can provide for you. And let me help you. Thanks. This feels nice. I might start asking for this more often. Be my guest. We stayed quiet, simply appreciating each other's presence and the warmth of human contact. I wish I could freeze this moment in time, so that I can stay like this with Makoto forever. This may just be a fleeting moment in time. This mere grain of sand in my life means more to me than I can express in words. Shoma? Yeah, I'm here. Is this really okay? Yeah, I think so. I'll stay here for as long as it takes to convince you that it is. So, forever? Well, if that's what it takes. Nah, there are still so many things that need to be done. But at the very least, let me stay like this for a little while. I could feel Makoto completely relax her body, using only me as support for her upper half. She closes her eyes and places her head right below mine. The speech tag is, not supposed to be there, I think. She looks completely burnt out. All the labor required of her, as well as the emotional energy that she's expended the past few days, must be taking its toll on her. Hey, Shoma. Yeah? Why are some people so cruel? What do you mean? Did something happen? There were some comments about me that I read online. People are saying negative things? About what? I know there has to be some negative reaction somewhere, but I usually only see positive opinions. It's not too difficult to find negative comments if I go digging. Whether it be on moderated communities or just on some far corner of social media. People in most of the big communities won't express any negative thoughts because there are consequences. Some show their true thoughts when given complete anonymity and have any consequences taken away. What's this, whatever Chan? But why? There will always be people who are dissatisfied. Do you have to go searching for those kinds of opinions? I don't know. I just don't want to upset people, even though I know that's impossible. I know I shouldn't be looking at those comments, but I don't know. Some of my viewers are there. I just get curious. Maybe because I'm seeking validation. Some of my viewers are just completely obsessed over what I do. I really don't know why. I'm just a messed up girl. Don't say that. You have so much more value than that. No, I really am just messed up. Because of people's obsessions, they react strongly to every little thing that I do. Some might just straight out express their love for me. Others are just completely spiteful or misconstrue any action because of their entitlement. You know how I ended the karaoke stream early because of what happened? Yeah. Well, instantly, people started saying extremely negative things about me. And I don't care about my viewers at all if I would just end the stream all of a sudden like that without explaining anything. Or maybe that I'm just a self-centered person that will use streaming as a convenient way to manipulate people into giving me a quick buck and take a break when I want. What? People are actually saying that? How can they even come to those kinds of conclusions? That's not even the end of it. There are so many other comments that assume stuff about me. Some seemingly do it out of a parasocial obsession, like they can't go on without me streaming every day and will be upset if I don't stream. Some might just hate me and will grasp at any chance to dox me or to try to twist narratives to make me look bad. That's just so wrong. Yeah, it's like I'm not a person to them. Makoto suddenly punches out into the empty air in front of her. Why are some people like this? How can they be so cruel? Can't people just try and be nice? I'm only human. I have feelings too.
Makoto's hand slowly falls back to her side, as if she's used up the remaining reserves of her energy. People say it all the time. If you want to make it as a streamer, you have to be thick-skinned, and be ready to handle negativity. But it still hurts me. No matter how hard I try to be indifferent about what people say, I can never fully bring myself to do that. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm just weak. There's no way that it's your fault. Anybody would be affected by negativity. It's awful that people say those things in the first place. It's just too cruel. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. Come on, why are you the one apologizing? Well, I didn't write hateful messages, but I'm guilty of forming my own obsession and pushing my own expectations onto you. That's different. I get that there are some things that people do naturally without any ill intent, but there are others that just completely disregard having any ounce of empathy. Makoto lets out another big sigh. I know I should focus on the positive parts of the community, but it's just so hard sometimes. Maybe one day, those people will come to understand. Even if they don't, there are still so many people that support you. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. As long as I don't have to face it by myself. You're not alone. Thanks. Hey, Shoma. Yeah? I'm scared. What are you scared about? About a lot of things. What if I can't meet everybody's expectations? What if I end up hurting more people? What if people just continue to be heartless? There's so much that I still need to do and work on. How am I supposed to do it all? Will I ever be able to truly call myself a happy person? Will I even be able to give back to the kindness that so many people have shown me? There are too many things that I don't know, so many things that I worry about. I have so much uncertainty about how things are going to turn out, and I have no idea what unforeseen events can happen. That's why I'm scared. Sorry, I don't have a good answer to those questions. Honestly, I'm scared as well. I've been having so much anxiety recently about the future, and how my current self will be equipped at all to handle anything. Even now, I don't think I'm ready to continue trying to take the necessary steps forward. Unfortunately, life doesn't seem to care if we're ready or not. Yeah, cruel, isn't it? But even so, it might not all be that bad. Like right now. Thanks for this. I think I needed it as well. We could switch places if you want. No, I think I'm fine like this, being able to support you. I've been unsure of what I can provide for you. I know you've already told me multiple times that it's enough for me to just be here. But I want to be able to do more for you. I wish I knew the answers or what the right thing to say is to you. But I'm not even sure about myself. My insecurity eats away at me. I'm afraid you'll realize how worthless I am and leave me. I know I shouldn't think like that, but it's a thought in the back of my mind that haunts me. I try to sound confident and supportive, but maybe I'm just desperate to prove my worth. The reason I want you to hold me like this isn't because I'm just looking to be held by anybody. I want you to hold me and be with me. I've mentioned this before, but you've done more for me than I think I can ever repay, even if you might not know it. You're someone special to me, and just by being here, supporting me, I feel like I'm able to face tomorrow, as well as the rest of the future. So please don't feel insecure about your worth to me. You don't have to prove anything. I value Shoma Hasegawa for all that he is. You're someone special to me. Thanks. You're someone special to me as well. Much of the tension I was feeling starts dissipating. I'm not sure if I'll ever fully shake off my feelings of insecurity or ever stop asking myself if it's really okay for someone like me to be with her. But I think that's okay. One more thing. Yeah? I'm sorry for telling you that you'll never come to understand me. You don't have to apologize. You were right. Don't say that. You understand enough for me to be happy. I've been thinking about it, and I've realized that the one who didn't understand me was myself. I don't even know if it's truly possible to fully understand myself, let alone others understanding me, or me understanding other people. I don't think that it's fully possible, but that's okay, I think. Maybe trying by itself is enough. If just trying is enough, then it sure doesn't feel like it a lot of time. But at the same time, there are moments where I felt happy that people try to understand me. So thank you for that. That's what I should be saying. Another thing I've realized, I've never really fully understood you either, despite my best attempts. Sorry about that. Come on, you don't have to apologize. I'm glad that you try. But still, maybe it ended up working out. I didn't understand your feelings, but because of that, we've ended up like this, which I can be glad for. Yeah, I couldn't have predicted any of this either. It reminded me that I really don't understand any of the other Mana fans either. You keep surprising me with your views as a fan, and I continue to wonder why I get the support I get. And that's all the more reason I'm thankful that I've been given this opportunity and level of support despite my inability to understand. So, thanks again. Of course, I'm sure I'm able to speak for the rest of us Mana fans as well as when I say this. We'll always be here for you. I pull Makoto closer to me and close my eyes, appreciating each other's presence and warmth, sharing our vulnerabilities, accepting and being accepted. How can I describe what I'm feeling? All I can say for sure is that I wish we could stay like this forever. They went into a deep conversation right there. Oh, they're still in the same position. After some time, I feel Makoto perk her head up. Should we get going now? Isn't it near the time that we agreed to meet your sister? I think we still have some time, but I guess we should get there first so she doesn't have to wait for us. Alright, let's get ready to go then. I wait for Makoto to get up so that she's no longer leaning on me, but she doesn't move. I think you need to get off me first. I'm having trouble finding the motivation to get up. Help!
What am I supposed to do here?
I don't know. Do something. I contemplate for a moment before deciding on something I might regret. Place my hands on Makoto's waist and start tickling her. Makoto immediately makes a sound that I've never heard from her before and jumps up. She turns around, her face red with what I assume is both anger and embarrassment. You really want to get smacked, don't you?
Oh yeah, that does still need to happen. Yeah, they've got to have dinner and they've got to have the stream. Oh boy. When I thought, yeah, they're just gonna get ready for the stream and do the stream, they keep adding stuff. But no matter what, I'm gonna finish this today, even if it goes on late. Even if it'll make her angrier, I'm unable to contain my laughter at her reaction. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'll accept my punishment. We're an hour in and we have several hours left. Maybe 2 hours? What should it be? Maybe I'll have you commit seppuku. Or maybe I'll ban you from my stream. Whoa. I'll take the seppuku, thank you very much. Huh? Wouldn't you not be able to watch my stream if you're dead? It's about the message. Sure. Okay, let's go before I actually decide to smack you. Yes, ma'am. Makoto and I arrive at the restaurant a bit earlier than the agreed upon time. After calling my sister to inform her that we're here, Makoto and I grab a table. I'm kind of nervous. Pretty sure that'll go away once you meet her. She's pretty easy to talk to. And I'm not just saying that because I grew up with her. She's able to make friends pretty easily. I see. What about you then? We don't talk about that. Makoto and I chat for a bit before I notice Yokone coming over to our table. Sorry I'm late. I got caught up in some traffic. No, you're fine. We didn't wait that long.
Yokone gasps as soon as she notices Makoto. Hello, you must be Shoma's sister. Yokone immediately takes a seat next to Makoto and starts embracing her. You're Makoto? You're so much more adorable than I imagined! Sorry, I don't typically hug people right after I meet them, but I know you and Shoma have been going through a lot. Just call me Yoko, no need for any formalities. Makoto is startled by the sudden smothering of affection. She's flailing her arms, unsure of what to do. After a few seconds, Yokone lets go of Makoto. If there's anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks. Yokone, you're scaring her. Sorry. I really do want to thank you though, Makoto. You've done so much for Shoma. I really can't thank you enough. He's the one who's done so much for me, and I should thank you as well for being a pillar of support for him. Well, Shoma has clung to me ever since he was a little boy. This is false. More like you dragged me everywhere with you. Makoto, why don't I tell you about the times that Shoma clung to me when we were young? Stop! Interesting. Tell me more. You too. Don't encourage her. Well, there was this time Shoma and I went to... Yokone began telling stories of our childhood with the context that I was always attached to her. She would conveniently leave out the parts where I would be forced to tag along. All my objections were immediately shot down, as expected. This continued for a bit until we got our food. Wow, Shoma, you sure were a clingy kid, weren't you? You're having the time of your life right now, aren't you? Makoto bursts out laughing, almost choking on the bite that she was swallowing. Yokone seemed to be as amused as Makoto's disregard for keeping up appearances as I was. Even now, he's still like that. He always wants me to pat his head. What other lies are you going to tell? I'm not surprised. Even today, just before he arrived, he tried to get physical and intimate with me. Why are you saying it in a way that's so easily misunderstood? Come on, Shoma. You need to control yourself. You two are having way too much fun. Sorry. It really does make me happy to see how far you've come, though. Just over a week ago, you would scoff at trying to meet new people. But now, I can tell you and Makoto have really come a long way together. It almost feels like you two can take on anything together. I think we're a long ways away from reaching that point. Yeah, I'm not sure either of us know exactly where to go from here. Nothing wrong with that. You're both smart, kind people. I'm sure the answers will come to you in time. I sure hope so. If it makes you feel better, I'm still figuring things out myself. Is that supposed to make us feel better or worse? Most people would think that working adults have their lives figured out. Maybe some do out there. After reading books and posts online from internet strangers, it seems that adults do not have life figured out. But I have my fair share of clinging to the past and wandering aimlessly. It's just that, as an adult, I'm expected to use most of my day doing things to try and provide for myself while I also figure things out. That sounds depressing. Haha, sorry, it's not all that bad. You don't have to worry about that, though. There's plenty to appreciate in the current moment. That's true. Shoma, could you give us a few minutes? There's something I want to talk to Makoto about. Wait, and where's Shoma supposed to go? Just wait outside the building? Oh, sure. Guess I'll use the restroom. Shoma, who is being forced to use the restroom even though he didn't want to. Or I mean, I guess you could. Thanks. It won't take long. I get up from the table and make my way to the restroom. I wonder what you wanted to talk to Makoto about. I guess there's no point in thinking about that. I'm sure there are plenty of things they could talk about that they wouldn't want me hearing. After a few minutes, I make my way back to the table. Makoto and Yokone are both smiling.
Are you two done? Or should I walk around?
You're good, you can sit down. I assume you're not going to tell me what you talked about.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I figured. It wasn't much. Let's just call it some girl talk.
Right.
Well, I think I have to get going soon. I know it's been short, but I got some things to take care of.
That's alright. Thanks for coming.
It was nice meeting you.
Ah, you as well. I'll be leaving town tomorrow, so it might be a bit until I see you two again.
Shoma, Makoto, I know life can be tough, but I truly believe that our greatest strength as people is the connections we make and the bonds we form with others. Neither of you are alone. Please don't forget that.
Thanks.
We won't forget.
Great.
Now, both of you, give me a hug before I go. Yokone gave each of us a hug before going to pay the bill. After paying, she said one last goodbye to us before leaving. Your sister is quite the character, and that "your" is the wrong "your." She is, isn't she? Here and gone like a storm. Do you want to get going? Sure. Back to your place? Is there still work that needs to be done? No, there's a few things I need to rehearse, but I can do them on my own time tonight. Overall, we're basically done. Oh, that's great then. Yeah, want to stop by the beach before you head back? Sure. Thanks. Let's go. They're going back to the beach! The promised beach! The beach of meetings! The beach which is, what, 30 minutes away from each of their houses? Makoto and I walk across the shore, the sounds of the ocean waves in the air. Stars decorate the night sky. The night sky really is beautiful here, isn't it? Yep, that's why I love taking walks here at night. I actually took inspiration for the design of Mana here. That's what Shoma was thinking. I was actually guessing that was the case. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's particularly unique, but when I look at the sky, there are so many beautiful stars out there. They all have varying degrees of brightness, and there are also so many out there that aren't visible to the naked eye. But I think that's okay. We all find meaning in our lives in our own way, and we also assign meaning to things in our own way. People find it in themselves to assign meaning to even the dimmest of stars. Not every star has to be as bright as those that make up the most well-known constellations. And this is a metaphor of stars and VTubers. There's the bright stars, the popular VTubers, and the dim stars, the less popular VTubers. There's constellations, the groups of VTubers. Okay. There's someone out there that'll notice the lonely star even in the deepest corner of the sky. You see, that's a metaphor for VTubers, but I think there are some stars in the night sky that actually get unnoticed. I became Mana in hopes that I could be a star that people can find hope and happiness in, no matter how bright I shine. And that maybe I can eventually become a star that's able to shine bright. And maybe I could find my own meaning. And you know what? I think I was able to find it. I really am happy to hear that. I'm really living in the current moment as a VTuber. VTubers have only recently become a thing, and I have no idea what the future holds as one. This may just be a fleeting page in the entire story of my life. But right now, I love what I do, and I want to keep doing it, despite all the hardships that come with it. It's not something I want to ever give up, even though I know it will have to end eventually. Even when I no longer shine, I want people to know that I'm still out there, somewhere in the night sky, doing my best. I want people to remember that I was someone that was able to bring at least a bit of hope and happiness to their lives. The connections that we form, the happiness that we share, the memories that we create. VTubing really is amazing, isn't it? It really is. Despite all the hardships and negative thoughts and feelings that come from VTubing, for both the VTuber and the fans. I don't regret my experiences at all. There's just something special about it that lets me unabashedly and wholeheartedly enjoy and support someone. There's an unfiltered sentimentality and heart at the core of VTubing that just feels so natural. Yeah, you're completely right. People are brought together by these similar interests, and VTubers are able to express themselves in the way that they want. I feel like this is taking all of the conversations that we had previously and putting a positive spin on it. This feels like the most positive conversation about VTubers that we've had so far. Because all the other ones were about like, you know, what's real and what's not real? And like, is it just running away? Or like, the pressures of the real world and all that stuff. We're able to form so many different kinds of amazing connections, whether it be between VTuber and viewer, or between viewers. We're all able to come together and become something greater. We're able to accomplish amazing things. Makoto walks towards water and reaches out towards the night sky. She stares out at the infinite array of stars for a few seconds before turning back to me. Hey, Shoma. Yeah? I really do love VTubing. Yeah. There's something I want to tell you and ask of you, but let me save it for after the anniversary stream. Will you hear me out tomorrow after the stream at this location? Is Makoto gonna be the one to confess first? Of course. Thanks. I need to head back so that I can do some final checks and rehearsing. Good night, Shoma. Good night. Makoto returns one last smile for the night before heading back towards the direction of her place. I think I've been able to find my own meeting as well, Makoto. Tomorrow is when it all happens, eh? Oddly, I'm not feeling as nervous as I was before. I take one last look at the beach before turning to head back to my apartment. Right now, I can only look back at the events of last week with gratitude. My life really has been turned upside down, but I've been able to find someone truly precious to me. Woo! It's a day of the anniversary stream! Kan Mana! It's your shining star in the night! Sky, Mana, Orion! I'm back! Did everyone miss me? I thought so. It's been an incredibly hectic past few days. It feels like I went on an odyssey and I finally returned home. You could say that again. I was able to learn a lot of things, both about myself and about others, and just about life in general as well. What happened? The details aren't important. The important thing is that I'm here and I'm doing well. But anyway, welcome to my first anniversary! I can't believe it's already been a year! Whether you've been here since the beginning, or you've just recently joined, thank you for being here and supporting me! You guys have made this into something unforgettable for me. I hope that one day, I can give back even a little bit of what everybody has given me. So, I have a lot of stuff planned for today. I guess the first thing would be what you guys might have already noticed. We have new badges! I wanted to make the 1-year badge to look really special, so I hope everybody likes and looks forward to getting it. Thank you, Inamama, for the designs! Something tells me you've all noticed the new emotes as well. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because you guys are all spamming them. Yep, there were a few emotes added as well, also by Inamama. Thank you! I hope you guys like them! So, before I go into any of the other stuff I have planned for today, I want to talk about some stuff. This might be a bit sudden, but it's also important, so please hear me out. Let me tell you guys a bit of a story. A story about a star in the night sky. There was once a lonely girl. This girl didn't shine. Every time she tried getting close to others, she would just end up hurting them. There wasn't really anything redeeming about her. She was ugly, mean, weak, and always unhappy and tired. She didn't want to be like that. She wanted to be someone that could shine, one that could be happy about her own existence. But despite her efforts, she struggled to change. There were just too many things about herself that she was unsatisfied with. One night, she had looked up into the night sky. and saw the beauty of the countless stars. She thought, if only I could shine like that. Then, she was given the chance to change. She was given the ability to transform into a new star at night. This new star would be one that shined. It would be one that others could look up to. It would be a self that she could be happy with. At first, there weren't very many people that would find it in the night sky or pay it any mind. But slowly, this star started to grow brighter, and people started to look towards it for light. As more people looked towards it and believed in it, the star grew brighter and brighter. And eventually, it became one of the brightest stars in the night sky. It was a happy time for the girl. She thought she was finally making progress to becoming the self that she wanted to be. Unfortunately, that happiness did not last. She found herself overwhelmed by the responsibilities that came with being a star. Maybe she had grown too fast. Maybe she would never have been ready for such responsibilities. Even as a star, she ended up hurting others, both her fellow stars and people that looked up to her. If she continued to make the same mistakes even as the star, had she changed or grown at all? Was she just lying to all these people that looked up to her? That she was still this ugly, weak person all along? The girl ended up lost about what to do about both her human and star self. She thought maybe it would just be better to disappear. But despite the pitiful state that she was in, and the pain she had brought to others, the very people that she had hurt were still looking towards her with love and kindness, even as her ugly human self. How could they still love and accept her, despite what form she took? She didn't understand. She even tried pushing them away. But no matter what she did, they still smiled at her. They were happy about her entire existence. The girl didn't really know what to do. What could she do? If she continued existing and being with these people, she would just continue hurting them, despite her own love for them. But they just continued to accept her, and that they might get hurt. They told her that it's okay. They want to be with her anyway. Finally, the girl gave in and accepted them. She was still weak, ugly, and mean. She would still hurt others. She might never find answers to her problems. She might never become the self that she aspires to be. Things might never get better for her. But she wasn't alone anymore. Her problems didn't magically go away. She didn't suddenly become the self she wanted to be. But she now felt like she could continue taking steps forward. She never discarded her ability to transform into a star. That's something she still valued. It was her opportunity to be the self that she aspired to. How she was as a star might not have been how she naturally was, but she continued becoming a star in hopes that one day she can truly become that greater self. So she continued taking steps forward into the future. She didn't know where it would lead, but with the people she values by her side, she felt ready for that uncertain future. And maybe one day, she'll truly shine brighter than she had ever imagined. The end.
I feel like that story was maybe a bit too close to reality. Like, you know, the whole star thing, I think that was a good start. Abstract fits the theme. Well, not that I know how Mana's VTuber theme works, but you know, stars and stuff, night sky. But it got incredibly specific near the end. Makoto.
How did everyone like that story? I see a lot of crying in chat. That's just my awesome storytelling abilities, right? What happened to the girl? Who knows? The future is up to her to grasp. I wouldn't worry too much about her, though. She'll be fine.
I wonder if VTubers actually tell life stories like that? I mean, considering how many VTubers there are, there has to be at least one. You know? One of those dim stars. Might even be a bright star. But, you know, there's gotta be at least one.
The reason I told this story is to show that stars aren't perfect.
I should probably check some webcomics. Webcomics for VTubers? And like, if a VTuber really did tell a life story like that, we wouldn't know, right? Because we don't know their life. It could just be lore, or it could be their life. That's the same with Mana here, I guess. It's incredibly detailed and accurate to life, but she could just play it off as, you know, I made lore. This is my lore story, kind of thing. VTubers making webcomics? Okay. Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to tell whether it's based on real story or just made up. Unless, I don't know, they give the disclaimer, yes, this is based off a real story. My story.
In fact, they're not much different than regular people in this story. They have their own struggles and circumstances. They might shine bright at night, but they also might have sides to themselves that don't shine. I know it might be hard to tell because they're looked at from a distance, but the stars in the story are individuals with their own hopes, dreams, and insecurities. They have feelings too.
Not related to their character? Oh, so like... just VTubers making their own webcomics? That sounds interesting. I guess it's just like a webcomic artist having a VTuber avatar, kind of. Just like how streamers sometimes switch to having a VTuber avatar.
It's because of both the other stars and the people that look up to them that the girl was able to find a home in the sky that she valued. Let's all try our best to make our own night sky the best place we can. One other thing I wanted to talk about. People can really only look up to certain stars, and with some extra effort, maybe make their voice loud enough to be heard for a second. But that might be the extent to which people can make themselves individually known to the stars. Even though the stars might appreciate every single person that looks towards them, some stars just can't give the same attention back. That's just the extent of a star's ability, and I know that might be painful for some people that might seek individual specialized attention from a star. I believe that relationships are built on mutual interaction. Both parties have to be in on it, communicating on equal ground. If a relationship is built on a one-way viewing, is that really something that's intimate or deeply interpersonal? One party doesn't even know that the other exists, and the other might just be viewing one side that might not tell the entire story. That could very well be the same as one-sidedly worshipping an ideal. The relationship between a star and its viewer has its own value, but it's not one that I think people should seek as replacement for other types of relationships. Often, the star can't possibly spend the time and effort needed to form intimate relationships with every individual that looks up at it. Sure, there might be a lot of nice people out there, and kindness is something that's invaluable. But contrary to what's depicted in a lot of media, I don't believe that just being nice alone makes you deserving of someone's feelings. There's a lot more to compatibility than just being nice, and it's impossible to know without interacting directly one-on-one. Sorry for being preachy, but I felt like I had to say this. For all the people that might wish for something more than just being able to look up at stars, I don't condemn you for feeling that way, but what you're looking for very likely won't be found in the stars. I do hope that you eventually find what you're truly looking for, even if that might not be in the night sky. I know I said a bunch of stuff just now. I'm going to continue trying to be the mana that I aspire to be, and that everybody can find at least a little bit of light in. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I hope that everybody will continue to accept and support me as I continue to work at it. There will be changes that come as I continue to grow. Not every change will make everybody happy. I can only do the best that I can to try and be the best version of myself I can be. So that's exactly what I'll do. I'll do my best. This is only the start of my journey. Please continue to watch over me as I work to become a star that shines bright in my own way.
So that's how she planned to do it. This is the mana she wants to present and strive for. I know some people might be taken aback, since she said a lot of things that might come as a surprise, or that people didn't want to hear. We
basically never see her be vulnerable and open like this. But that's the special part. I think a lot of fans would probably be happy to hear that. But I believe in both Makoto and the Mana fans. It doesn't take long for the chat window to be filled with messages of support and affirmation. People start spamming the Mana heart emote, and eventually the entire chat window consists of red hearts. Aww, stop it, guys. I really don't have the words to describe how thankful I am for how you all made this dream come true for me. Really, truly, thank you. Alright, enough of all that serious talk. Let's get to the actual fun stuff. Okay, so, first off, we have a collection of clips that I've put together that features some highlights throughout the year. I can already see myself cringing at myself throughout the entire thing, but I know you all will enjoy watching me squirm. Let me pull it up real quick. There we go. A video window appears on the screen, showing a paused frame of Mana's debut stream. Wow, she actually decided to show this. I thought she'd just leave it out and scold me later for choosing a clip from her debut. Yes, this is from my debut stream. No, we're not watching the whole thing. Why are you guys laughing already? I haven't even shown anything. I'm probably going to regret showing this. Mana gives a loud, audible sigh. Alright, here we go. The video doesn't play longer than 5 seconds before Mana pauses the video, closes her eyes, and turns her head in a visible display of pain. She starts groaning in pain at seeing herself during her debut stream. Okay, just bear with it. Eventually, Mana was able to get through the debut stream clip, albeit with frequent pausing. The rest of the clips that followed went relatively smoothly, with plenty of laughs, embarrassment, and ironic self-praise from Mana. Good thing I don't have a debut stream. Although, I don't think I've really changed at all. Looks like that was the last clip. Well, that was fun. And painful. But fun. I just wanted the backseat past me the entire time while I was watching those clips. Like, you idiot, what are you saying? But past me was also cute and innocent, so I also wanted to pat her head and give her some words of encouragement. Something like, "Ha, you're screwed, it only gets harder from here." Yeah, I'm sure past Mana would have really appreciated that. Man, it sure feels weird looking back at my past self. Okay, next we have fan letter reading. I can't read through all of them, otherwise I'll be here until my 2nd anniversary. So I had some picked out. I haven't actually read through any of them, so I'll be reading and reacting live. First, we have a letter from Triangular Turtle Tiger. Thank you, Mana and fellow Mana fans, for a wonderful year of laughs and wonder. Your streams have been something I could always rely on for time of heart and joy, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. Here's to all the great memories that have been made, and also to another year of wonderful Mana streams. Aw, thank you! It wouldn't have been possible without all of you either. Let's make next year even better than the first, yeah? Okay, next we have... Mana continued going through the letters that I had picked out. She reacted to every letter positively, her responses ranging from sly teasing to strong fondness. Lastly, we have a letter from Shohase35. Makoto might scold me for slipping my own letter in there, but I kind of wanted to let her know my own thoughts on her as Mana. Mana, meeting you has been a pivotal moment in my life in more ways than one. These days have been filled with so much joy and laughter thanks to you, but amidst those moments of joy in life are also inevitable points of hardship and struggle. I've realized that there often aren't easy answers to what life throws at us, but you've provided a place where we can all connect and make memories and have fun, despite what we might be going through. There might only be so much that I and the rest of the Mana fans can do for you during your own times of hardship. If the only thing we can provide in return is to be here for you and foster this community that you've created, then we'll do just that. Even if we don't understand you fully, and regardless of what the future holds, this will always be a place you can return to and we'll always be here to support you. And don't feel like you're undeserving of any of the support that you get. I truly believe that it's not just what you've done, but also who you are that makes you deserving of all the love and support that you get. You are not alone. Let's face the future together. Thank you, Shohase35.
That was a really long letter. That was way longer than the first letter. He's using his fan letter picking powers to like make his fan letter too long.
I was in a bit of a rush, so I'm not sure if I managed to get everything I wanted to say across. But I think I managed to say what I wanted to say as a Mana fan. Man, I wanted to get past the serious stuff, but we have Shohase35 here being all sappy. I truly am so thankful and happy that you all gave me the chance to be a part of your life and make this dream come true. To have the chance to be able to share the things I love, to connect with all of you, to have been part of something greater than I could have ever been alone. Truly, I'm so thankful.
I could hear Mana's voice start wavering towards the end. A sniffle can be heard through the stream audio. Is she going to start crying on stream? Mana's model could be seen shaking her head. She sits up and opens her eyes.
No, I'm not going to cry. Stop it, guys.
You guys are just being weird now, spamming those hearts.
Come on, stop that.
In response to Mana's emotional display, the chat once again fills with hearts and words of encouragement and affection.
Alright. I'm going to move on to the next thing I have planned since you guys are all being sappy. Let's sing a few songs. I know my last stream was a karaoke stream, but I had to end that stream suddenly, so I didn't get to finish. After that, I have some new merchandise to reveal. Yay! Then I got something I put together and recorded to show you guys, so that'll be fun. I actually have something a bit different in terms of songs today. I felt like singing something different than what I usually sing. Okay, let's start!
The song that starts playing has a tone distinctly more upbeat than what Mana usually sings. What would usually be something more melancholic is now one filled with hope for the future and gratitude for what's been experienced despite any mistakes and regrets.
Again and again we've made mistakes. Our lingering regrets and eternal affection will reboot our love.
More than ever, Mana shines brighter than I've ever previously seen her. You wanted to be a star that people could find hope and happiness in, didn't you? I don't think you have to worry about that. You've already achieved it, and to me, you've become the brightest star of all.
So let's connect our love. The feeling I want to put into words and the right answer I want to convey are one and the same. Thank you.
Oh, is that the end of the anniversary stream already? Alright. I slowly walk across the shoreline, looking back at the imprints my souls have left behind in the sand. The warm glow of the sun can be seen in the distance as it starts to make its exit for the day. I'm still feeling a whirl of emotions from the anniversary stream prior to arriving at the beach. The beach looks so different when it's not nighttime. There was plenty of excitement and fondness for the stream, but there were also feelings of worry and anxiety for what's to come. This new strength that Mana showed, one that's born out of an acceptance of one's weaknesses and truths. I know the reaction on stream was positive, but how are people going to feel off stream? And in the future where there might be more changes? Did her words even make a difference to the people that needed to hear it? I let out a loud, audible sigh in an attempt to ease my concerns. Careful there, they say that every time you sigh, a little bit of happiness escapes from you. I turn around in reaction to the familiar, warm voice behind me. Aren't you the one who's always sighing? The familiar, warm voice. That just made me think that when he first met her, he always described her voice as dead. But now it's warm. If what you say is true, then let's try to salvage what we have left. Sure. I've got enough happiness to go around. Makoto returns a smile as she starts to walk alongside me by the water. She turns her gaze to the ocean with an expression on her face that I can't quite ascertain. So, what did you think of the stream? I think you did amazing. You were shining brighter than I've previously seen you. Thanks. I still don't know if I made the right choice or if I'm on the correct path. I just did what I
felt was right for me. I don't know if people will come to fully accept the changes that I showed, and that I'll be making in the future. But this is how I want to express myself, I think. I'm not sure either, but I think you made the right choice. Take it from Shohase35, the biggest mana fan out there. Oh yeah, that was a bit of a cheeky thing you did, putting your own letter in there. It was so long too. You didn't even pay attention to the character limit. I was right! His letter felt unusually long, and it was so much longer than the very first one. He totally cheated. Oh yeah, I guess I wasn't really thinking about that. But thanks, I really liked it, even though you said some embarrassing things. Hey, it wasn't that embarrassing, was it? It sure was. Let's face the future together, eh? We were able to make it through this whole anniversary ordeal, but I'm not sure how things will go from here. Are you sure you want to continue walking down this path with me? Sorry, I know I'm bringing this up again, but I don't see this path being smooth sailing from now on. I don't even know if I found any solutions to my problems. And I know I've said this before, but I don't have the answers to your problems. I can't be that knight in shining armor. I can't be that protagonist that will save you or figure out your problems. I'm just me. I have plenty of my own problems I'll bring. I'm not even sure if I'm still doing this out of my own insecurities. Yeah, I think they should stop spending every single day asking, hey, are you okay with, still being friends with me? Wait, are you okay with still being friends with me? The next day. So, I brought this up again, but are you okay with being friends with me? Yeah, I'm still okay with being friends with you. I think at some point they really need to stop doing that. It's good to affirm your feelings every now and again, but they've been doing it every single day. I just know that I want to continue being with you. If you're fine with all that, then I would be the happiest guy to keep walking down this path with you. I'd rather have Shoma Hasegawa than a knight in shining armor or one of those protagonists. And you've already done so much for me. It really makes me feel like I should do more for you. Like you said, you're just you. But that's exactly why I want you to stay with me on this path. It's just my own confidence in myself that I'm bringing this up. Say, can I be a little selfish? I'm going to ask you a bunch of annoying questions just to give myself an ease of mind. Sure. Go ahead. I know you've already said you would accept these parts of me, but I just want to selfishly reaffirm. You'll accept the side of me that will annoy and burden you? Yes. I'm going to make selfish requests of you. Please do. I have so many problems. That makes two of us. You're inevitably going to get hurt. That's okay. I'm going to complain a bunch to you. I know. I want you to tell me about your problems. And Makoto, I'll say it as many times as it takes. I want all and every part of you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. If you're looking for your soulmate or someone who can complete you, then you won't find that with me. This is me. This is who I am. This is all that I have. I'm just a girl with a lot of problems. I'm not looking for my soulmate or someone who can complete me. I just want you. You really are... Come on, what the heck? I'm so happy. Hey, it's not just me. There are plenty of people around you who all accept and love you. Yeah, what's wrong with all of you? Makoto takes a moment to wipe her tears with her sleeve. Shoma, there isn't much value to the path I walk. But I want you to be there with me, side by side. We'll probably stumble a lot and feel lost. But if you're there with me, then I feel like everything will be okay. Will you walk this path with me? Not just as someone who's involved with me, but as someone I love. Oh, Makoto pulling out the confession here on the beach! After the anniversary- wait. The anniversary stream was during the day? Interesting, I guess, after the anniversary stream, on the Sunset Beach! Is that a no? Of course it's a yes, I was just shocked! I think you've made me the happiest girl in the world at this moment. Weird coming from my mouth, isn't it? I don't think so. I think this happiness just fits you. You think so? I hope you can continue making me this happy then. I'll try my best. Let's go, Shoma. To this unknown future. Yeah. No matter where it leads, no matter what awaits us at the end. We'll walk it together, one step at a time. Yeah. So, I guess, in the end, they get together? Well, at least they're holding hands and all that stuff on the sunset beach. And here is a letter, I guess, from the creator. Dear reader, thanks for reaching the end of Vtuber Connect. Ever since I started watching VTubers, I've always been captivated by the power of the connections that are made. Oh, Bucky, maybe you'll get an answer to your question about how this story was made. Direct from the author themselves. This game is my love letter to VTubing as a medium. It's a love letter in which I attempt to hide nothing but embrace everything. Not everything about VTubing as a medium is dazzling. There are plenty of things we would prefer not to experience or think about, but I believe that's what makes it human. It's true to life in a way that's reflective of who we are as people. And similar to people, I believe that it has the power to move, inspire, and connect us in a way that isn't really seen elsewhere. My own personal experience with VTubers reflects this. Despite any of the negative experiences, thoughts, and feelings I've had with VTubers, I'm ultimately thankful that I've been able to share in their experiences and be a part of their communities. One of my hopes with this story was to get people to be more conscious about their experiences with VTubing as a medium, and that maybe we would come to a better understanding of each other, both from the perspective of the VTuber and the viewer. It's easy to forget that there's a human behind every screen. We're all going through our own individual experiences and have our own unique stories. We don't know what others might be going through, and we can't make assumptions that they may or may not be in a good spot. We may not always be able to do much for the people that need help, but I truly believe there's power in being understood, even if we may never fully come to fully understand them. Just feeling like they're understood or knowing that someone has made an attempt to understand can have a significant effect. Of course, it's impossible to truly 100% understand everything about a person, and oftentimes it's best not to pry into or share certain experiences, but just coming to an understanding of the possible experiences of others can go a long way. This is just one of the many ways that we connect with each other. Thank you again for playing through Vtuber Connect. I hope that I was able to connect with you in some way through this game. Verum. So that was Verum's letter to us, the reader. So yeah, that's Vtuber Connect. Which was, I guess I'll just kind of recap a bit, but when I first saw this game release, I guess it was near the end of last year, I thought, wow, alright, a game about VTubers as a visual novel? That seems like it hits, like, you know, the kind of content that I create. Not really. I just read visual novels a bunch, and this is about VTubers, so I wanted to try it out. And then it was also pretty short. Well, it turned out being longer than I thought it would be, but it's still pretty short, so I wanted to try it out. And then it brought up some interesting topics too. One thing though that, like, they brought up a lot towards the end there that I feel like I couldn't agree with as much, but might have been the thesis, judged by that letter at the end. The idea of coming to an understanding of the person that's behind the avatar. That's something that I have mixed feelings about. Because I mentioned before that I'm kind of in the camp of the VTuber is a character in itself. That there should be a line drawn between, like, the character and the person who's acting. This is getting kind of really meta, but, you know, that's the point of this game. So trying to think about what the person behind is thinking is sort of breaking those rules, maybe. Of course, different VTubers will have different opinions on that. So if they are the type that like blurs the line a bit more, then, you know, if they share details of their personal life, then yeah, you can take that. Whatever experiences they share, you'll listen to their experiences that they share and understand them through those. But if they don't share any details, then that's it, you know? In perhaps like simpler terms, it's, for me, keeping a clear line between work and personal, right? There's that kind of idea that people have. And Vtuber draws a pretty clear line. What is the person when they take on the name and appearance of a Vtuber is different from when they take on a name and appearance of someone else. And that's a very, very clear line you can draw. So if people do draw that line, then that's where it should be drawn. And well, that sort of ties into the whole discussion that was had earlier on about like real self and fake self, which if we take like the work and personal life thing, either one of those are equally valid, right? Anyways, overall though, I liked how Verum said, after all, it was a love letter, I guess, to VTubing. And I can feel that kind of appreciation. There was a lot of time spent on how helpful VTubing can be. Or not just like helpful, but like how much fun it can be. So I'm happy with that. And I'll try to take some inspiration, perhaps, from this in my own VTubing journey. I'm still trying to figure out when streamer became synonymous with VTuber. Should I give you a short history lesson? Because VTubers, well, I can't really say that this is a history lesson, but I believe VTubers started off with video content because it's very difficult, well, 3D video content with like Kizuna Eye, because it's very difficult to like live stream 3D motion capture, all that stuff, so it was recorded and then posted as a video. Then the technology of live 2D came to be, and you know, that mixed with face tracking, and then it started off with like videos again, but then I guess Tsukino Mito from Nichi-Sanji popularized using live 2D as with streaming. There might have been others, but I believe she's often credited as the one that popularized streaming in VTubing. And then after that, you know, a bunch of people started streaming with live 2D avatars as well. And then there was the whole 3D stuff that came to be, so streaming, I feel like, when I think about it, game streamers, VTuber game streaming maybe came a bit after that too, because I think the very first VTubers were more about like talking, like they just talked at the chat and stuff, or like talked about stories or whatever. And then it was later that playing games while streaming with a VTuber avatar got more popular. In regards to the story, I feel like 90% applies to streaming in general. Yeah, I think so too. Streaming in general, and then life in general. It's framed through VTubers because the writer wanted to do that, I guess. But, I mean, it makes it an easy to digest vehicle.
So any VTuber fans can kind of relate more directly. If it were a story about live streaming, then probably live streaming fans would be able to relate. So it's just about the target audience, I guess. Which is, you know, it's always nice to have this story for different audiences. That's kind of how stories work, I guess. Everything is kind of the same story, but tailored just a bit differently for different people. Alright, well, I guess I'll call it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will have my usual Tuesday stream. So that's only in 2 days, and I will start Fire Emblem Engage. Alright then, good night, and bye-bye.